Oops. Man, the damn Golden State Warriors beat us. That was ugly. No. I did not like that at all, that game last night. All I can say is, ouch. Always a war going on outside my house. So yes, the Sacramento Kings were in the Bay last night, facing off versus the Warriors, and it was not pretty at all. It was a pretty ugly game, in my opinion, and probably most other people's opinions. The Kings got stomped 104 to 130 in a game where the defense just really looked atrocious, and has a lot of people, fans, questioning a lot of things about the Kings, like, is the chemistry good? Is this lineup good? Should Malik Monk be starting at point guard, and these type of things? CJ. And the Kings are currently in ninth place with a record of 33 and 32, damn near 50%. The Kings have lost 3 games in a row, and they are right below teams that are winning and currently on win streaks and are separating themselves away from the Kings, which is not a good look for the Kings. And in the standings, you can kind of see there is a group here. The Thunder's kind of running away with it. And there's a group here from second to probably all the way down to 6th, but mostly 5th, the Rockets, where they can really flip-flop. They're only behind 1 game of each other in the win and loss column. So it's still pretty volatile in the top, but there's a second tier where the Warriors, Timberwolves, and even the Clippers, you can say, are the next tier, and they're separating themselves away from 9 and 10 and the rest of these guys. Hey guys, before I get too deep into the video, I want to ask that you please click that like button. Also, if you're in the Kings Talk, Kings Analysis, Kings Post Game, anything Kings, please click that subscribe button. We're a new channel, but we're trying to grow. So clicking that subscribe button will help me kick the algorithm's ass. I appreciate you. And I want to say welcome, YouTube, and to all my friends and all my folks out there. It's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of The King's Morning After, Midday Cup of Joe with Jay.
I love it.
And this is my second cup of Joe for the day, so it's a little lukewarm, a little old, little lax a little bit. Just like the Kings, real lackadaisical last night against Golden State Warriors. Very similar to my coffee, my cup of Joe today. And today is March 14th, 2025. And you know what day it is? You know what day it is. You know what day it is. Yeah. It's Friday. Yes, end of the work week, Friday. Unless you're like me and have to work the weekends. But hey, it's still Friday. Friday always has that good feel to it. You get to kick it that night most of the time. If you're not working on Saturday mornings, you know, you get to sleep in a little bit on Saturday. So Friday always has that good party vibe, party feel. So hopefully you're going to celebrate your Friday some kind of way, even if it's just having a beer or two. Yeah. And my cup of Joe for today is, man, you know, the Kings, man, they're always a roller coaster ride. They're always up and down and up and down. Some games are giving you a 7-game win streak. The next day, the next few games, they're giving you 1-5, like they've been recently. Then another few games, they're 4-0. You know, you don't really know what to think about this team. But there's a lot of people saying the wins that they got were against lower opponents, lesser opponents. Some of them with injuries and things like that. So kind of teams they should beat. Lower conference ranked teams. There's some of that going around. Also, a lot of people are mad at Malik Monk for some reason. I'm not sure why. Right now, he's the de facto point guard. A lot of people are saying, you know, you can't be a good team with Malik Monk as the point guard. You know, I'm not sure if that's the case or not. You know, I believe he can do the job. I mean, if he can average 5 to 10 assists a game, he's a good passer. He can bring the ball down the court. I mean, what else do you need out of a point guard? You know, he can be pass first. You know, he can get the team into the game, and he can take the shots, make his own shots. You know, not totally sure why all the hate with Monk, and you know, people want Keon Ellis to start, but Keon Ellis isn't a pure point guard either. I mean, he's a combo guard himself, and Malik Monk might be better at point guard than Keon Ellis. Yeah, Keon Ellis is a very good defender, and maybe that's why, you know, he's a better defender than Malik Monk. But he's not a true point guard himself, and I don't know if he'd get more assists than Monk. Oh, and by the way, he turns the ball over a lot. Did you see how many times he turned the ball over last night? He threw the ball away on bad passes more than a couple times last night. Which I think kind of limits him. You know, he's not a true point guard. He's a combo guard. A guy you bring in off the bench to play some defense and hit some threes. Let's see if Google could tell me how many turnovers did Keon Ellis have last night. Okay, he did have 11 points. So, I mean, it says he only had 2 turnovers, and it must have been the 2 times I saw him throw the ball away. And it says Malik Monk had 4 turnovers. So, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe people see Malik Monk as more of a turnover machine than Keon Ellis. I'm not quite sure, but not sure you're getting much difference if you trade Malik Monk with Keon Ellis in the starting lineup. Plus, you'll piss off one of your best players, one of your most dedicated players, and one of your most faithful players, and one of your most hungry players. So why would you want to piss that guy off? You know, he finally got the starting job after playing as hard as he was throughout the year last year, you know, or this year. And, you know, he got the job. So you can't take it from him now. Not for Keon Ellis, anyway. The most pure point guard they have on the team is probably Markelle Fultz, but even he's a combo guard himself. Plays good D and likes to do other things. So, kind of interesting how the Kings have been playing lately. The chemistry has been a little out of whack. So Domantas Sabonis has been hurt. So we've had Valanciunas, who was a good sub, but all of a sudden, he didn't play very much last night. He only played 14 minutes last night. I'm not sure if it's because the Warriors have a smaller lineup with Draymond in there playing center, but they didn't use Valanciunas, which I thought they could have used Valanciunas. They could have used his hustle, his rebounding, his defense at the basket. How many times did you guys see somebody drive to the basket or cut to the basket with no defense, no pressure, nobody even touching them? It was bad. You know, you need somebody down there to kind of help on D. Nobody was helping down low on defense. And the other thing I noticed about the game was that the closeouts were really bad on 3. I don't know why this team cannot close out on 3. Their closeouts on 3 are bad. Their closeouts their switches after screens are bad. In my opinion, and then you look at the other side, you see Golden State Warriors, and they're playing up on guys all the way full court from the half court line. You know, their switch outs are great. They switch out on you and D you up on the other side of the 3-point line. And they have, and their closeouts are good. Their 3-point closeouts are great. They crash the 3-point line as soon as you catch the ball and they close you out. And I just want you to notice, I'll do the eye test a little bit later. But if you can replay that game, watch how many times it was hard for the Kings to score because of the Warriors defense. But then you see in the Wizards on the other side, and they just had easy time driving to the basket, cutting to the basket, making layups, shooting threes, getting a shot off. It was just no resistance. That's the word I was looking for. There was no resistance. There was no wall there. You know, to play defense, you kind of got to make a wall. You got to be a barrier to the basket, obviously. Like Coach Christie would say, you got to make them feel you. They didn't make anybody feel them. Nobody felt a king throughout that game. And obviously I'm kind of generalizing, but you know, that's just kind of the feel I got watching the game. It was hard for the Kings to score, and it was easy for the Golden State Warriors to score when they needed to. So Kings are going to have to really tighten up on D. I don't know if the chemistry is bad, but, you know, if a couple weeks ago, these guys were playing great. The chemistry looked great. Levine was helping bring the ball down. DeMar DeRozan was taking his shots. It seems like the team kind of gets into this mode where each player kind of like forgets their role or doesn't like their role or seems like they're doing too much in their role or something, and then they slack off, they back off. Like right now, DeRozan pretty much is the leader in most categories. Leader in points, leader in assists. So for this Kings team to get better, they have another game tonight in Phoenix, in Sacramento against Phoenix. Or no, actually it's in Phoenix. So for this team to get better, they're going to have to tighten up on defense. And I know Doug Christie talks defense. Somebody there has to preach defense. They're going to have to tighten up. They're going to have to tighten that up. Their closeouts on three are going to have to get way better. And they're going to have to find a way to get easier shots. Malik Monk and Sabonis have great two-man game together. But when that's not available, they need a different way to create shots, or a foundation or a base of the way that they create shots each play. And then, you know, maneuver audible off of that, change off of that if you need to. Right now, they don't have a way to make easy shots. It just seems like everybody's doing their kind of own thing. So, in my opinion, those are the things the Kings are going to have to tighten up if they're going to want to win and keep this spot that they have. Also, they're going to have to get on some type of win streak. They're going to have to win some games here, because they're not falling too far out of playoff contention, but they're falling a little bit. They fell all the way to 10th, and they're at 9th now. So they need to try to hold this position. I believe they need to move up. They need to try to win some games here coming up. And they have a really long, really big homestand, so I'm hoping that'll kind of bring them back to life. But anyway, that's my cup of Joe. Black with one creamer. Okay, so yeah, Kings lost 104-130. Golden State beat them up in the first quarter. The Kings kind of held up their own in the second, but going into the third, they were already losing. They held up in the third, but in the fourth, they just kind of got smashed by 13 to give the Warriors a 130-104 win. And the Warriors, their leading scorer was, of all guys, Draymond Green with 23. But I'll tell you what, Draymond Green likes to kill the Kings. I think we know that from watching him in the playoffs a couple of years ago. He likes to kill the Kings. I'll just put it like that. And their whole starting lineup was in double figures, except for Jimmy Butler, who only had 6 points, which is kind of interesting. He had 5 rebounds and 7 assists, though. There was a lot of other people with double figures, though, including 4 guys off the bench. Gui Santos even had 10 points. Gary Payton hit a couple threes that I saw. Buddy Hield hit a few threes. So their bench came in and stepped up real big for them. Jimmy Butler was the leading assist getter, though, with 7. He was out there dishing the ball. And look at all this help and rebounding that they had. All these guys had 3, 4, 5 rebounds on the whole team. Everybody was grabbing boards. And I think that was kind of evident at the end of the game because the Kings didn't have a center at the end of the game. I'm not sure why Valanciunas didn't play last night, if he was in foul trouble or what. But he didn't get a lot of run last night, and it kind of showed. People were able to get to the basket with no help. The rebounds were kind of all over the place for the Warriors. And for the Sacramento Kings, their leading scorer was DeRozan. He also was the biggest assist getter with 7. And biggest rebounder was Valanciunas with 9 in only 14 minutes. Not sure why Valanciunas only played 14 minutes. That's kind of interesting. Keon off the bench scored 18. And Malik had a little bit of an off night, only scoring 7 points, but he did have 6 assists. Off the bench, Trey Lyles was able to help with 11, and LaRavia helped also with 13 points. But it was not enough with guys like Valanciunas and Keegan Murray and Malik Monk only adding up to 18 points between the 3 of them. And Zach LaVine with only 14 points. Field goal percentage, the Kings shot horribly, 46%, 37 out of 79. Golden State was at 57. And three-pointers, the Golden State Warriors hit 22 three-pointers. The Kings only hit 14. And it's just another team that went 55, 56% against us, which is also what the Knicks did, which is outrageous. Why do teams hit three-pointers so well against us? If you looked up the stat, I bet you in the NBA, the opposing team probably shoots the best three-point percentage against the Kings. I bet you. Kings shot 37%, which isn't horrible, but they only hit 14. And Golden State hit 7 more threes than them. That's 21 points in threes. At the line, Golden State hit 2 more free throws. Both teams were about mid-70s. Total rebounds, Golden State had 13 more rebounds than the Kings, which is very telling. You can't rebound the game. You can't rebound in the NBA, then you won't have possessions, offensive possessions. It takes a rebound to get an offensive possession, unless the other team just scored on you. And then assist to turnover. The Kings had 25 assists, but they also had 14 turnovers. And Golden State Warriors had 35 assists with 14 turnovers. Points in the paint, Golden State with 44, Kings with 36. Eye test. I'm going to give the Kings an eye test. Yeah, eye test. We're going to go back a little bit to the first quarter, which is where the Kings kind of started off really bad. Draymond Green hits a 3 as his first shot. Like, when does he ever do that? Draymond, 2 threes back to back. Great drive and dish by Monk. I mean, what else do you want from your point guard? No defense at all. Who's going to guard him? Really bad closeout on that. Real bad closeout on both of the Draymond Green 3-pointers. And I'm just wondering if Golden State kind of knows the Kings at this point, knows they don't close out well, because there was obviously an attempt to shoot threes and to get to the open man, because most of these were wide open. And look at that. I mean, LaVine tried to put a hand in his face, but it was bad. You got to close out quicker than that. He put his hand up and then walked towards him. Steph Curry, basically an open 3. So at the end, they were down by 10. 13 right there. It was worse, till they started scoring at the end of the first. we'll take it to the fourth here. The second and the third quarter were kind of similar. Kings kind of scored and kept up with Golden State for the most part. It was really the first quarter and the fourth quarter that the Kings did a really bad job on defense and even on shooting. Wide open. Why is Draymond Green able to cut to the hole with nobody paying attention? Beautiful pass. Keegan Murray not paying attention. Guy passed him down below. Bad defense. Let a guy sneak down to the hole again. Allowed a guy to easily cut to the basket with no help defense down below. Even the commentator said, look at how many layups or dunks the Warriors are getting. Alley-oop. Cut to the hole with the alley-oop pass. Nobody's paying attention to the hole. Nobody is running with these guys. Nobody's cutting with these guys. Nobody's helping out on defense. Just really bad defense in that fourth quarter. Can't come back like that. Bottom line, the Kings morning after. Bottom line. Today's bottom line is... Bottom line, I gave you some bottom line already in the Cup of Joe Kings. I already kind of detailed what the Kings are going to have to do. They're going to have to play a lot better defense than what they did last night. That was just horrible. That was so bad. Valanciunas didn't play at the end of the game. Not sure why. We need Sabonis back. We need a down low presence, especially for defense. We need somebody to anchor us on defense down below. We need to help defense. We need to switch better. We need to help out on cuts and screens. We need to close out on threes better. It's almost like this team needs to relearn how to play defense at an elementary level, at a fundamental level all over again. Like they need to learn from like high school. They need to go back to high school and learn all the fundamentals that they were taught for defense. Cause I know defense is taught in the high school level or at least college level, I'm sure. Cause this is not going to work. The defensive level, the level of intensity on defense, no resistance. It's not going to work. It's going to get guys fired. It's going to get guys really grumpy in the locker room. And it will mean a lot more losses. So bottom line is the Kings need to turn this defense around and they need to focus on some key spots like closing out on threes, help defense, and switches and cuts. What are they going to do? Whoever the defensive coach is right now, he would get fired at this point. So defensive coach needs to step up. That's my bottom line. Next up, the Sacramento Kings play tonight versus the Phoenix Suns at 7 p.m. Be there or be square. Check that game out and click that subscribe button so that you can see my analysis tomorrow of the game. You can get a notification on the next episode of my show. And the Phoenix Suns have been a little bit of disarray lately. It's known that they were trying to trade Kevin Durant. They're trying to get Kevin Durant out of there or trying to get some assets for Kevin Durant. So I'm sure he's probably out of here this summer. The team chemistry just isn't really there. Stuff has been coming out about Devin Booker and how hard he is on guys. So it sounds like there's some locker room stuff going on and possibly some chemistry issues, and Durant may possibly not wanting to be there. So this team is kind of vulnerable. They're not in the playoff mix right now. We don't want to let them into the playoff mix. This is a game the Kings should win tonight. So they need to build that chemistry, keep that strong defense. They are in Phoenix, so they're going to have to play together, play hard, and let's get some resistance on these guys and show that we are better than the Suns with a victory tonight. Betting lines. So this is Bet US. I like Bet US because you can bet on everything. It's like a traditional sports book, like a casino sports book. I use it to bet on boxing sometimes, which is pretty cool. They have prop bets and parlay bets too on here. So it's a pretty good site to do bets, and I'm in California, so you can pretty much bet anywhere on Bet US. If you want to do some sports bet, I ask that you use the link below in the description. It helps out the channel. So there's only 2 games tonight. We got the Lakers versus Denver, and we have the Kings versus the Suns. Well, there's other games, but they already happened. But if you feel like, and they say Denver's going to win by 15.5 versus the Lakers, which is a lot. So do you feel like that's going to happen? They're going to win by 16 or more, you would bet here. If you think they'll win by 16 or less, or the Lakers win, you would bet here. And they're saying the Phoenix Suns are favored by 3 over the Kings tonight, which is very interesting. I wonder why that is. Maybe because they're at home. I feel like the Kings are a better team than them. If they can come out and show it with some chemistry and some defense. How do you feel about that? If you want to make some bets, you would just click. If you felt like the Kings were actually going to win that, you click that there, and then it comes up over here on the side. You put your bet in, and it tells you how much you would win. You would win almost $5 if that was to happen right there. And as you can see, it's minus 110 on both sides. So you're not going to win a ton of money either way you go on that one. And then they have money line bets as well, where you just bet straight up who you think's going to win. If you think the Lakers are going to win, you could win 7 times your money with that bet. So let's say you bet 5 on that one, you would win 35 if you thought the Lakers could actually beat the Denver Nuggets tonight. So that would be a pretty interesting bet. If you want to do some bets like this, go to the link below. We also have a link to Prize Picks as well. Click those links. You get some free money when you deposit money, and it helps out the channel. Thanks. I got a question for you guys. How do you guys feel about the Kings' current state after losing this game to their rival, the Golden State Warriors, and pretty much being 1 and they have lost 5 games in a row? No, I take that back. They are 1 and 4. The Kings are 1 and 4 in their past 5 games. What the hell is going on, right? Make a comment. Do you think they're going to make the playoffs? Do you think they're doomed for disaster? Do you think they're going to come back and make a run before this playoffs? Make a comment. That also helps me kick the algorithm's ass. Also, guys, if you can, if you're still watching, please click that like button. I must have had some type of analysis, something good to say. Click that like button. And if you're into Kings sports, Kings news, Kings talk, Kings analysis, click that subscribe button. You'll be notified whenever, well, at least you won't be notified, but at least my videos will come up in your feed every now and then if you subscribe whenever there's a new episode. If you click the notification bell, you get notified after each episode. I would really appreciate it. Also, make a comment. Comment about anything. Comment about the Kings. Comment on me. Comment on the weather. I don't care. Make a comment. It helps me kick the algorithm's ass. And if you could share this content, that would really be golden. I would really appreciate you for that. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, and content. I appreciate you. And I got a motivational quote for you guys today. This one I learned in the rough streets of Sacktown. Just hearing some of the OGs and the old gangsters say. And it goes like this. Don't talk about it, be about it. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Don't be all talk, you know. You want to do this, you want to do that. Don't talk about it, do it. Don't talk about it, be about it. It's a really simple saying that really means a lot, and it impacted me in my life. So hopefully it'll impact you and help you out. And with that, that's pretty much all I have to say. That's all that I have for you guys today. I really appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you watching this far. And if you are still watching, please, hopefully you click that like button. Hopefully you're subscribed so that you can get some type of notification when tomorrow, the day after the Kings game tonight, when I put out the next episode of the Kings Morning After Midday Cup with Joe with Jay. Hey, I appreciate you being here. And with that, I'm out. But before I go, check out these moves. It's good.